Good sunny morning, Chuck here at Garden Spot Acres. We're on video 11 of our tiny house log cabin build here. And we're right here ready to put the roof system on. But I got a couple things I got to take care of first. We left off the other day putting our top plate on. And over here, remember, I put the top plate on. I used a string down through the side. And we got the top plate nice and straight along this top course right here. Then I measured over 133.5 inches over to this top plate here, and it was fine till I got about right there, and then my log started running, and you can see it right there, the top course. The top course right there is bowed in to that one over here. And you can see right there, I don't want to put it like that. So I'm going to push this top course that way. And we're going to use a timber from here to here as a cross piece. And we're going to push that back out. It's 127. That's flush there with that one. Well, I'm pleased with that. Well, we're ready to go ahead and put our ridge board into place. Now I have some figures here for different pitches of my roof. I think I'm going to go with a 6 to 12 pitch, 612. That gives me a distance to the top of my ridge board of 33 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and put a support in on this end. That'll give me 33 inches to the top of my ridge board. So it's 33, and my ridge board's a 2x6, which is 5.5. So it's 33 minus the 5.5 to the top of my support. And I'll put one on the other side over here. So we're gonna put that ridge board support on the back wall. Then we'll put the other one on the front support that I just put in here. Right here. Remember, it's the 33 minus the 5.5 inches. We'll go find the middle of this, go straight up, and we'll have a support here and a support in the back. Then I'll run a string between those two. We can run a temporary support up to hold the middle of the ridge beam or the ridge board while we're working. Okay, remember the back width here is 133.5. So I got to figure out half of that, which is 66 3/4, which is right there. So my ridge board support has to be centered right there. So that support needs to go right there up. And it's got to be 33 inches to the top of the ridge board. So I need 33 minus 5.5. That'd be 27.5. So I need to go 27.5 inches above my back wall here. Actually, oh, good thing I caught that. Not 27.5. I got 1.5 inches top plate. So 27.5, 29 inches above. Then my ridge board goes on top of that. So 29. Now we're going to find the center of the front. Now we're going to run a string between the front one and the back one real tight. The middle support doesn't really have to be perfect, just enough to support it, and I want it kind of close. You can see down there I'm about 1/2 inch off. That's fine. I just need to be able to support my ridge board as I'm working with my rafters. All right, we know we're going with the 612 pitch. We already have our rafter height at 33 inches, and that's going to have to be changed. You'll see in a few minutes why that needs to be raised up a little bit. I just don't know how much yet. But our rafters are going to be 73 and 13/16 in our situation. That's the total length. And we're making these 612 pitch. So I need 73 and 13/16. So the first thing we need to do is cut an angle at the end of our 2x4 here. So what we're going to do is you're going to place your rafter square. You're going to pivot up here in this corner. And you're going to use these numbers here, common, and you're just going to pivot this until you have 6 lined up. See the 6 lined up with the edge of the 2x4? And we're just going to draw them like, and that's the angle that you need for a 612 pitch. Now we needed 73 and 13/16. So from the long end here, measure out 73 and 13/16 in my situation. Now there's rafter calculators online that you can use for this, or you can use the Pythagorean theorem. But it's easier just to use the calculators online. They're going to ask you to input a few numbers, and out pops everything you're going to need. So I need 73 and 13/16. Put our square on there again. Bring it around to the 6 on the common rafter numbers. 6 lined up right there. That's where the bird's mouth goes. Now I'm going to go ahead now and measure from the end again to to get the end of my rafter, and I want to do it about 92. I gotta have an angle here, so about 92 and a quarter, maybe it'll work. I'm just rather arbitrarily picking 92 and a quarter. I kind of want long tails to get over top of my windows and over top of those log ends. Keep that all dry as most as possible. Now look what's going to happen here when I take my square. My numbers aren't lined. I can't get my numbers on a board. It's too short. But you remember that piece we cut off? Look what we can do with that. We can use that piece right there to draw the end of our rafter. And every one of these lines, the end of the tail, the bird's mouth, and the top that goes against the ridge board, they're all parallel to each other. Just remember that. Now let's come back to the bird's mouth. This line right here is about 4 inches. So I'm going to pick about 1.5 and make a mark. About 1/3 of the way, that's about what you want. 1.5 is really close. 1.5 looks good. And now you're going to take your square again, and you can line it up on that line right here, just like this. See that? What you're doing is making a 90-degree angle right here. And we're going to cut that out right there, and that's the bird's mouth. And that leaves you plenty of 2x4 up here for strength. That's fine. You just don't want to get way up into here with your bird's mouth. You don't want to do something like this. Okay? Now, this bird's mouth usually would sit the same width as your plate on the top. But if I did that, let me show you where that ends up. I would be way up here, which is almost half of my thickness, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to leave it at that right there and call that good enough for this situation. Now a 2x6, 2x8s, you can go up deeper, but I can't really get up there to 3.5 inches like the thickness or the width of my top plate. It's just way too much I'm cutting out. So I'm going to cut out that little chunk right there. Okay, I don't want to cut all the way through there. I'm only working with a 2x4. So I'll grab the oscillating saw, the multi-tool. We'll come down and cut the end of the tail off. Now, before we go up there and test fit this, I'm going to show you now. Remember that 33 inches? Remember that 33 inches I said was the height? Well, that's the height, not considering the thickness of this bird's mouth that's left. So I got to measure that, and then we got to raise our ridge board up that thickness. Two and a quarter. So I'm going to go cut some 2 1/4 little chunks, and I'm going to raise my ridge board up 2 1/4, and then this should fit in nice and neat. There you can see that little 2 1/4 chunk I put in there. I mean, you could do this after you cut your first rafter, not have to do this. Whatever convenient for you. I just like to try things out like this. This really does show you where that extra little height comes from. So when you do the Pythagorean theorem, you're gonna say, well, 33 is my number. How is this coming out like this? You know, when you calculate this, 33 is gonna be the height, because everything is a straight line. It doesn't account for thicknesses. But this shows you right here how this works. That little chunk is that bird's mouth remainder that's left on the rafter. So let's go ahead and put our rafter up. Now you notice I also did this. I put a couple little boards here just so my rafter ridge board can't fall. So I'm gonna go ahead and try this rafter out. Now this rafter is actually gonna be right here. It's gonna be flush with this outside wall. We still have other rafters to put on the outside that are gonna go out here. But this first one I'm putting on, I wanna get everything held together here. So it's gonna go along the outside wall, straight up like this. And there it is. It's all nice and tight. Just like that. Now I'm going to take this rafter down and we'll try it on the other side. So right now it fits nice right where it is. I'm just going to leave it right here and we'll check it from that side. Let's pop her in here and see what she looks like this way. Okay, I haven't moved. The 2x4 or the 2x6 up here has not moved this way. But look at it, it's nice and tight. The bird's mouth is sitting flat and she's right up against up there. Perfect. Now since this one is so good, we can use this one as a pattern. So I don't have to do any more measuring. I'll mark this with a P. We'll put a P on it. And we'll keep using this one on every new 2x4. Hope you guys have a great day. We'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.